because what they do, what schools are doing is exactly what the CIA does with Pixar films and Disney films. They make Bambi's mom die in the beginning, right? And off that pain comes a purchase of ice cream. Off that pain comes, I need some more toys. Off that pain comes, I need a bigger house. Off that pain comes, I need more girls than my wife. Off that pain comes, so they put that pain in to make us, now we're the orphans of capitalism, to make us be consumers. And we need to be a community, not just consumers.
So he's bringing out the point that, okay, because Kanye just had an interview and he stated that his mom was sacrificed. And then he had a second interview um, where he was basically saying that they want to traumatize and then monetize. So they traumatize you by killing someone in your family, and then they monetize you, right, to get money and profits and gain, right? So right now he's making himself a resemblance of Bambi when the mother died. His mother died, and it caused him to have pain, which was created to have money now to buy things to make him feel better about the pain. That's what they do to our whole nation of people. We have so much pain through all of the death and homicides and going to jail, not being around family. And the pain is causing us to consume things, depression and being bitter. You want to grab a chain to make you feel better about life, get a new girl, buy a new gun, try a new drug, being a consumer.
I also have pain too that's not being recognized. And in every interview, when I say, well, why did I get to the point of putting up the tweet? No one wants to understand why I got to that point,
You had
right?
pain. You had pain.
Yeah, but
You
no
had
one.
pain in your heart.
But let's say this: undoubtedly, Jewish people have a lot of movies about that pain, and Black people have a lot of movies about the pain of slavery, right? It's almost impossible to find a movie about Mansa Musa. When you go to the African History Museum in Washington, D.C., it doesn't start with the idea of Africans being kings. It starts with the idea of Africans being slaves. But here's another interesting point about this. This was said to me one time and it stuck with me as a family member of mine. With Africans, how many times you've heard like a rapper, talk about we were kings? That's incorrect if we're Jew. If we're Jew, and since we are, we weren't the kings. We were the slaves that Moses freed.
It's crazy because Kanye is stating that the blacks, our trauma has been slavery, and we're still in slavery to this day. He said that Moses freed us. We are the blacks that Moses freed. We are the Israelites. How can you substantiate that? By doing so, we have proof. We have the word. The word tells us that right before the end times, the Jews will be in slavery. The Israelites will be enslaved before the end times come. Who was enslaved? What nation of people are enslaved to this day? The African Americans. We're the only one who don't have our own land, our own flag. We're not our own people. We are still in captivity under our captors. Okay? So we know that the whole prophecy of the Most High, Jesus Christ, the Son of Man, coming back is to save the Israelites, the Jews. Also, the Gentiles is coming in and getting salvation, but particularly the Jews. So it's predicted that God is going to bring the Jews back to their place and give them their land and give them the inheritance of the land of the world which he created. Okay, so that is the prophecy.
Africans have always said, you've listened to rap music and hear black people say, we kings, we blood of the pharaohs. And if we are Jew, then we weren't. We were the people that Moses freed.
Right. Like a lot of people, they believe in the Egyptology. They believe that we came from Egypt. We are the people of Egypt. We are the Egyptians. But that is not true. We are the Jews. And in the Bible, it states that God made a difference between the Egyptians and the Jews, the Israelites. Okay, his chosen people. Okay? We know that the Egyptians had the Israelites in slavery. They had the Jews in slavery. So how could they be the same people when one had the other in slavery? Okay.
And when we talk about, have you heard black people talk about 400 years of slavery?
Mhm.
All right. That is and we're having this history lesson, right?
I
And
thought history doesn't matter. You're exploring ancient history and drawing deep wisdom from it. And at the same time saying we need to forget all of it. We need to put that behind us.
absolutely. We need to forget it and we need to move forward.
There's so much wisdom to draw from history, even the 20th century. Look at this communism. Without the lessons of history of the 20th century, communism sounds like a great idea, except that some of the worst atrocities conducted by Stalin and Mao that killed 50, 100 plus million people, not just killed, tortured, starvation, where people, the cannibalism, they ate each other, they ate their children. There's just dark people. People should read some books on this, on the Holodomor
See,
in the 1930s.
but I
With that
disagree.
lesson, we would, and now it's becoming more popular. Marxism and communism.
I'm
is
not
becoming more
disagreeing that
popular.
that happened. I'm disagreeing that we need to harp on the things that happen because the truth is, I'm giving a fact 50% today of, let's say, you don't call black people Jew, right? Black people's deaths today is abortion today, right now. Like that, it's not racism. That's too wide of a term. It's genocide and population control that black people are in today in America that is promoted by the music and the media that black people make that Jewish record labels get paid off of, or media companies. Record labels and media company also, so let's give it a wider.
I agree with Martin Luther King. I have a dream too.
Martin Luther
That one
King
day
was
you would not be judged by the color of your skin or your race, black or Jew, but by the content of your character. All the assholes that fucked you over in the music industry, fuck artists over in the music industry, are individuals. They're not Jews. Can you
they are Jewish.
He said they are Jewish because they are. Homeboy over here lying. They are Jews. I understand playing them out specifically, but they run every avenue of being successful, because they own everything. They own the rights to everything. They are the power source. You can't go beyond them. in their own. It's like, this is my house and you're in it. You have to abide by my rules.
It doesn't. They're human with opportunities, and they took those opportunities. I don't care if they're Jewish.
Do you feel like I
Jew-
should release that pain and separate it?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're saying I should release that pain and separate it, then I'm telling you should release your pain and separate it, and we could get to the list of how you are a being with engineering opportunities.
That's 100%. I see what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. The pain, I'm gonna let it go. Engineering challenges, I get it. One of the problems you highlight is people get fucked over in the music industry, and get fucked over in the media, get fucked over all over the place.
They created. There was a Jewish trainer that brought me to the hospital and put in press that I went to the hospital. I know friends that off of exhaustion, a Jewish doctor, they diagnosed
Why do you keep saying Jewish?
Because they were, right? Diagnosed me with bipolar disorder and shot me with medication and put me on medication, then put it in the press. And every time, even if I wore the wrong color hat that a nigger is not supposed to wear, right? Then they immediately say he's off of his shit, he's off his meds, he's off of his rocker, and it's literally used as a scarlet letter control mechanism for the people. Understand, the kids, the colleges, the high schools. What do you think they put me right now? They put me as the prophet, not the leader. It doesn't have to be the leader, right? Because we need a more intelligent person to be the leader, but at least, right? They put me as the prophet. They put me as the only person that would say this. And I'm just saying that was 4 Jewish members that controlled my voice, because for the fact that 90% of Black people in entertainment, from sports to music to acting, are in some way tied into Jewish business people, meaning that in some way, just like if Rom is sitting next to Obama or Jared sitting next to Trump, there's a Jewish person right there controlling the country, the Jewish people controlling that who gets the best video or not, controlling what the media says about
There's
me.
a person, not Jewish. Let me just say one thing.
But they are, though. That's the only thing. It just so happens that they are. It just so happens that they are. That doesn't mean that I hate them.
Yes,
that just means that they are.
But it's a dog whistle. Two, let me just say, as I would love to add more love to the world, I would love you to do that as a person with a big voice, with a big, powerful voice that a lot of people look up to. And when you say Jewish media, it's funny how this world works that way. When you say Jewish media, or Jews are controlling the voice of Black artists, Black people, Black artists, when you say that,
am I not allowed to say it out loud?
You can say it. There's a large number of people that are hurting and have anger and even have hate in their heart when they hear Jewish media. That hate starts being directed towards the Jewish people. Do you acknowledge that? Do you understand? Can you feel the hate in the world? That comes to the surface when you say stuff like that.
Okay, I feel that when we go into therapy, my dad was a therapist, and obviously I've got some therapy skills myself. A lot of people, my music is healing. These type of spa-like existences are healing. The color palettes I use are healing, and we can use healing words, right? What I really feel I feel that there's no accountability and no responsibility on Jewish people in media to at least start with owning up with the facts of what's dealt with, and tell me, if I say the facts out loud, to the point of Ari Emanuel writing a letter in the Financial Times trying to take food out of my children's mouth, telling people that they're not allowed to work with me.